What's up, y'all? I've been working on some projects lately, but I wanted to do this quick live because I wanted to kind of bring a little bit more of a deeper depth into some of the conversations that we are having, specifically about the issues going on in the Black community. And I saw this podcast last night from Hip Hop Uncensored News. And they were talking about Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion and sort of their influence on Black women and even Black culture, and this has been a conversation in the Black community I've been hearing for a while now, that our music is a very bad influence on our people, specifically our young people, and that our music is steering our newer generations into a path of destruction, quicker destruction. So I wanted people to kind of understand. I made this point on LinkedIn just now, and I wanted to make this point on YouTube as well. All right, first of all, the purpose of the FCC. So we're going to read their mission, and then I'm going to go into my opinion that I just recently posted on LinkedIn. The FCC's mission: the Federal Communications Commission regulates interstate and international communications by radio, television, wire, satellite, and cable in all 50 states, the District of Columbia, and U.S. territories. An independent U.S. government agency overseen by Congress, the Commission is the federal agency responsible for implementing and enforcing America's communications laws and regulations. So keep in mind that this is an independent agency, right? Overseen by Congress, right? So a lot of the decisions that are pushed out in this agency, Congress will have a say in sort of some of these judgments because they oversee this commission, right? And again, they're responsible for implementing and enforcing America's communications laws and regulations. Now, why does this tie into the arguments within the Black community about the music that's being played on the radio and that is gang related? All of the mainstream artists are gang affiliated, and they're intentionally glorifying this black op type of gangster mentality within young boys. And if you go and you look at any mainstream hip hop artists today, right, they have gang affiliations for a reason. So somebody finds it marketable to exploit these young boys' experiences and then turn them into something that should be glorified to other young men. So my opinion on this is, I was listening to another blog, and this was, a Chicago street reporter, and he stays up on all the gang activities, what's going on, all the drama and beefs. And I'm interested in that subject for a variety of psychological research reasonings. And he said the reason that you see the uptick, because I saw Tucker Carlson, and of course he had his favorite blackface Candace Owens on there, and she's like, it's possibly related to poverty. Candace don't know what the hell she's talking about. I wish that Fox News would stop pushing these people that only understand issues from a surface level, and then they're the voice. But anyways, he was asking her about the crime. And she goes, well, Democrats, and it's always Democrats, 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 as if some of these policies and these practices have not been co-signed or at least been nonchalant among Republicans as well. So I'm going to offer a better argument as to why we are seeing the uptick in crime in Chicago. As the street reporter who lives in Chicago, he's also a victim of gang violence, and he often tells the story of what's happening on the street so people can understand it in a very holistic way. But he said, when the sun comes out, the guns come out, then the dung comes out, right? So when it gets hot and it's in the summertime, obviously you have an uptick in violent crimes because everybody's out, everybody's kicking it, and people are typically in large groups, right? And I was being sarcastic when I said this, but I said I would like to give a big round of applause to the FCC and the record labels. All of this gangster rap that I am hearing banging on the radio. I mean, all I hear is these rappers talking about they Glocks and they homies and they little bros and they ops. That's all I'm hearing for the most part. These brothers ain't saying nothing with true substance that would inspire a young brother not to want to take that path. These men are having their experiences exploited because somebody has an interest in young black men having that type of mindset. That is why they keep promoting these gangbangers on the radio. Irresponsibility. That's what it is. The FCC does not care about black people. The FCC, the Federal Communications Commission, does not care about black Americans. Now, why do I make this conclusion? Why do I make this assessment? Remember, I'm from Detroit, okay? So Eminem is one of the artists that came out of our city, right? But when Slim Shady came out, when the real Slim Shady came out, what did the FCC do? They concluded, now remember, when Eminem put out Slim Shady, they said that the FCC concluded that they had to restrict that from the radio because the real Slim Shady was patently offensive as measured by contemporary community standards. And that is and that it contained unmistakable offensive sexual references that appear intended to pander and shock. Okay? So Eminem got pinged for the real Slim Shady, right? Because they said that it See, here they go messing with my stream because I'm on that truthful talk. What's up? Thank you for this. I have two boys, 20 and 22, and the music is a big mess. The music is intended to do one thing, and that is influence these young people in a very negative way, right? But I want to get back to this pandering of community standards because what community was the FCC talking about? Were they talking about American society? No, they were talking about the white community because Eminem was rapping about things that to the standard and the image of the white community was unacceptable. And the FCC would not allow a white male rapper to project the white community in such a way. So fast forward to all the gang violence in Chicago and some of these other inner cities, and you turn on the radio. Turn on the radio. Now, these are the regulators of TV and radio and prime time, right? But what are they allowing? How are they allowing for black people to be projected? Look at the Grammys, and that will tell you everything you need to know. TV. Uh-oh. What they about to do? I'm about to sue. I swear, I'm about to sue these people because they playing with me again. Because these feds, the federal agencies, they don't want us talking about them, but they're neglecting their job, and they are a big part of the root cause of a lot of these issues within the black community. I remember when Tupac and Biggie, all that East Coast, West Coast shit was going down, right? And then those two brothers got violently killed. And what did they do? They pumped the brakes on gangster rap. If you old enough to remember when that shit played out, because I was in middle school when they died or whatnot, you know that rap took a weird turn after Tupac and Biggie died. They died down on the gangster affiliated type rap music that was being projected in the mainstream. A lot of people was like, oh man, hip hop got weak. It's weak. It's weak. It's weak. Right? Because they weren't projecting and exploiting those stories because too many people were getting killed. So so somehow they felt that it was more profitable to go back to projecting gangster type music in the inner cities. And these people are talking about not only killing other people, these people are naming names. They are disrespecting the dead, as I've said in other videos. So, as parents, we need to be able to break even these things down to the deepest of levels so that our kids can understand that the things that are being projected to you is intentional because somebody wants to profit off of your ignorance and your mind being negatively influenced. Because these kids, like I said, there was a young man, he's a YouTuber, and he said, when I listen to this hip hop music, when I listen to this certain artist, he said, I don't understand what it is. He said, but I get this negative emotion, this rage inside of me. And they don't realize that a lot of the hip hop culture has been commingled with satanic rituals. You see this in hip hop all the time. Satanic crime mob, Nuck If You Buck had people jump for no reason back in high school. I'm telling you, and people don't realize that music is the Pied Piper. It is the influencer. It is the quickest access to the brain sometimes. And, like I said, if you're a Christian, you understand that the devil uses many machinations to influence the mind. And you have to be able to safeguard your mind and protect your mind. And even when I was growing up, my mom didn't let me just she was very, very watchful in some of the music that we listened to. We had to sneak and listen to some of the music that was popular that our friends listened to because our mom did not let us listen to that for a variety of different reasons. Because she did not want us thinking the same way that this music was projecting. And getting back to the brother that did the video on Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, I have this very ignorant exchange. I don't know how old this young lady was or whatnot, but automatically she goes, oh, you must be stupid. You must be ignorant, because I made the statement that even Black women need to stand up and we need to own our image and our narrative by projecting some of these Black female of color artists that are supposed to be projecting us. Because, they personify an image of the Black woman that does not make us look desirable. You know what I mean? It doesn't make us look like wife material. Matter of fact, these women are singing about the fact that they don't want to be wives. So when you think about the issues in the Black community, we definitely need to examine our music because it influences, the culture in a way that is not organically healthy for progressive growth at all. We keep buying into these ignorant ass things that makes the Black image look messy. We look unhinged. Our women look like bopping ass hoes. And then people who are not from America, and this is what I tell people, a lot of oh shit, here they go. Did they kick me out? Ooh, they kicked me out. But I was telling people that sometimes the only image that some people have of other cultures is what they see on TV. So if they see Black women being projected as bopping assholes, they see Black men being portrayed as violent ass criminals, it creates a psychology amongst individuals that aren't even exposed to Black, leaving them to create judgments about what Black people are like. So when I look at, the FCC continuously allowing these gangster, gang-affiliated rappers to just dominate the airwaves, influencing our brothers negatively, and then I go back to them shutting Eminem down for him pandering to communities. What did the FCC say when they banned Slim Shady? Let me see. When the FCC banned Slim Shady, did I go back? No, I lost it. But they basically said that he violated contemporary standards, community standards. And that community is where we need to focus on. Because what Eminem did was create a song that was a bad image to the white community. The black, and so and the Congress, the FCC was like, wait, whoa. We can't have this white guy projecting us like that. That's for the black people. The FCC don't care about us. They won't. There are certain images of black people that they will allow to be projected that they will not allow to be projected for other communities. And the reason why is because black people buy in to these projections of us that other communities would not do. They won't. They won't. Just like the Asian hate. Y'all see how quickly that shit died? Because the Asians don't want that on their community. They don't want struggle. They don't want to be leveraged. Black people, we're the only community for the coin that can be leveraged and not even realize that we're being leveraged. You think an artist, a black female artist, can go and she could be a badass lyricist. She could be a really good lyricist. And somebody catch her. She's better staying independent and being able to preserve her image than going into the industry. Because once these artists sign that line, they lose their whole sense of self or whatever self they had defined for themselves before they did it. So a lot of these young gangster rappers, rap music is the ticket out of the hood for a lot of these brothers. You know what I mean? Basketball or sports or rapping. Those are the options that they see because a lot of them don't have opportunities. So the industry and the FCC, being fully aware of this as well, understood how to capitalize on that resort. Let's raise up a bunch of gangster rappers, thug rappers that don't mind killing each other. Let's drop off some weapons in the inner city, right? Let's get these guys playing Call of Duty with each other. And I'm hearing some of these songs like, my little bro did this, my little bro. And I'm like, I wouldn't dare put a gun in my little bro hand and just tell him to go aimlessly kill somebody else because of a Twitter beef. But that's what these young brothers doing. They killing each other, going on Twitter, dry snitching on themselves, and then they writing songs about it. And some record label was like, "Oh yeah, that's hot. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's play that to the young brothers, and make sure you mention the brother's name that you killed too. We're gonna take this a step further, and now instead of us disrespecting, the people that we killed, we actually gonna put their names on it or insinuate who they are that we killed, so that all they homies know that we did it or we taking credit for that body. You know what I mean?" You hear these young brothers bragging about how many bodies you catch. You ain't catch no bodies. These brothers are competing against who killed the most people. Who killed the most people? And this is what they're bragging about. And the FCC is like, it's okay. It's just black guys talking about killing each other. Why would we regulate that? We need that. Population control. Black men need to realize that they are making the white man's job incredibly easy. They're playing the Pied Piper with our brothers. And our brothers are making the white man's desires incredibly easy and fulfillable because they're killing each other. The white man plays the fiddle. Basically when I listen to hip hop music now, it's just like, I translate it as, I don't even translate it as anybody's organic experience. It's like, kill your brother. Like, that's the subliminal that I get from hip hop music now. Kill your brother. Kill your brother. Black genocide, black on black crime. That is what I get from this. And we need to start petitioning the FCC, y'all. Black America needs to stand up for its image, and we need to petition the FCC. because what is their job, right? Their job is to regulate the radio, regulate the TV, right? And when they regulate, they need to regulate impartially. The strip club culture from the South ruined it for black women. Even Eve was a stripper, but she changed her life, and her message and rhymes were raw, catchy, fun, and sometimes tackled real issue. I loved Eve. The game that long either though. She had her run, and then Eve, and she was a great lyricist. Eve was probably one of the best lyricists to me. And but she got herself, that rich husband. She got out of that crap real quick, real quick. She wasn't even playing with the industry like that because she probably saw what it was. If I'm gonna really just make it like this, I'm not gonna be that brick house stallion, whatever. I'm gonna be full blown bopping ass hoe. And I'm like looking at why they keep kicking me out. Talking real talk, really? Every time I talk that real talk, y'all, they just don't like it. The feds be just watching my ass. But I'm not even gonna irritate them that long because I don't want to irritate myself that long trying to make sure the stream stay on. But y'all think about this though. When you're talking about the issues of the black community, go deeper. Go deeper. Because a lot of this, when you boil it down, is about policies and regulations and neglectful regulations. If we as a community is saying that we want to see, artists like Lil Durk and Lil Baby succeed and live their dream, but we don't want to see artists like Lil Durks and Lil Babies experiences being exploited in a fashion that makes it okay for them, for other young boys to want to live that lifestyle. And I'm not sure if y'all know a lot about Lil Baby. I don't know a whole lot about Lil Baby either, but what I do read from, that young rapper is I look at a man in conflict, because I think I don't really like a lot of people want to promote, Lil Baby as this dude that, that really he's about that life and he ain't never gonna leave and all that stuff like that. But I really personally believe that these young men, once they get out of there, they really do want to pathway their brothers into a different situation. But what they sold into, what they signed the dotted line to do was to keep their brothers on this train of gangster rap and gangster mentality. I enjoyed E's show, TV show, rapper show, and encouraged growth back then. Yeah, the hip hop game is totally different than it was when I was growing up. Like I'm almost 40 and I just feel like, the whole game is just not the same. It's highly riddled with, demonism that maybe I never noticed growing up, but I never noticed hip hop music being riddled with so much demonic imagery at all. It's like I don't care what artists come out, once you get to know them, they'll have like that one little normal video of them where they were just kind of coming being the normal person. And next thing you know, you see them killing themselves and then they in flames all the time in their video, just demonic stuff, and they're calling themselves demons. So I want you guys, like I said, think about, your regulators. The regulators, they love regulating the stuff that benefits them, but they don't like to regulate the stuff that actually benefits the people that need it to their regulation to benefit. So black people, be conscious, always be conscious, and understand that you have power in this too. If enough of us petitioned the FCC and demanded that they readjust the type of music that they play in our inner cities and they stop playing this demonic music that is inspiring our brothers to want to kill each other, maybe we will start seeing some results. Because again, if you're not listening to the music, if the music isn't around you all the time, you're not being inspired to be a certified killer. You ain't being inspired to be some goon or some op. You're not being inspired to do that. You know what I mean? A lot of I feel like, the way that this music is influencing these young brothers is just straight robbing them of their natural
sense of just being becoming from a boy to a man. And, it's sad. It's sad, but that's what I got for you guys today. If you're a parent, please, please, please get back to the old school. My mom restricted our music, right? We were not unlimited. We had to sneak and listen to stuff. You know what I mean? I see a lot of parents today, and this girl wants to argue with Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion. They already said that their music was for adults. I'm like, okay, well, why are these artists who said that their music for adults on Instagram showing little kids dancing raunchy to their music and thinking that that's cute? And then you have other moms who got their daughters dressed up like little boppers or whatever, and they're dancing to it, and they're getting millions of views. Millions of views. These little girls dressed like little mini whores emulating Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion. So they can say that their music isn't for little kids all day long until the cows come home. That doesn't negate the fact that children, adolescents are listening to these women. They're even targeting these young kids in even their video style. I mean, look at it. Like Lil Baby and Megan Thee Stallion. I mean, they're dressing up like dolls. They're doing like this whole childish kind of theme type stuff. You doing reverse target marketing and you know it. You targeting kids all damn day. Because anytime you put infusing childlike things in your music imagery, you know that you are targeting everybody with this demonic ass shit. Now you have 40 and 50-year-old men who are fans of 20-year-old rappers still thinking that they're young. Yeah, it's amazing. It is amazing, how some of these old school, men, they're glorifying these 21-year-olds, like you said. Oh, yeah, little baby, he the truth. I'm like, why is he the truth? Because he talking about killing other niggas? Let's be real about this. Let's be absolutely real about this. You know what I mean? It's like it's like a reverse psychology where grown men are going back. They're going back. They're not developing into men. They're not developing into men, and a lot of it is because of this music. The music don't promote these men to be men. They promote these young boys into being savages. What about the female rappers who say they don't cook or clean? That's exactly why you got so many trifling women out here who don't know how to season chicken. Because a lot of these women, you think about a Miss Independent woman and all that stuff, these women are growing up with no sense of home economics. They don't have home economics. They don't. You know what I mean? And then a part of that is because they took it out the schools too. I had home economics growing up, and we had wood shop and all kinds of other trade stuff, but they removed that stuff. So, but these girls, the industry is like, okay, we don't want black women to be wives because you got to think about the plot here. Black people aren't thinking about the plot against us, and it don't have anything to do with racism. It has everything to do with making sure that we stay apart, separate. The mission is to keep the black segment of America separate. And you do it by infusing these influences. Black women don't want to be wives. They want to be Miss Independent. You know what I mean? Going back to those traditional values, the music isn't telling us to do that. I mean, Megan and Cardi, Cardi, she's married, right? But look at how she talks as a married woman, right? Look at the lyrics to WAP. If I was a man, I would not want that to be my wife. And I think the reason why Offset is having such a hard time with her is because what man would want his wife to be like Cardi B? I personally believe that that's why Offset really don't be like that man be so hard to be faithful to that woman because I think at the end of the day, I don't think that man respects that woman for a variety of different reasons outside of being his baby mama. I think some men get like that too, where it's just like, I love my baby, but damn, I don't want to rock with your ass. You know what I mean? I think, when you think of, I don't envy women like Cardi B at all. because it's like,
Is that better? Am I not muted anymore? Because they totally just they what they do is they default my stuff right back to. So hopefully this is it's not muted anymore. Let me see. It looks like the mic is working again. Cool, thank you. But what I was saying is that I think Offset have a hard time being faithful. Thanks, Tiff. I think the reason why Offset have a hard time being faithful to that woman is because of her personification. You know what I mean? I really thanks, Tiff. I think that just that image that she portrays, you know what I mean, is so disrespectful to the average wife type of woman. No man would want his wife to be like that. And I think that's why, Offset, I think he struggled with the man inside because it's like, you know, he ain't got a lady in the street and a freak in the bed. He got a freak 360, and I think men are coming back to terms with the fact that they want a lady. They want a lady. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure they want a woman with a personality and all that good jazz, but they want a lady. You know what I mean? They don't want some. Uh, okay, you guys, I am sorry for this. They keep kicking me out of my stream, and that pisses me off. So I am going to let the stream go here. I do appreciate everyone who checked in and provided your perspective. Check out the beginning of this video, though, because I want you to understand the function of the FCC and why they are failing Black people and why they don't care about Black people. I'll try to roll it with the video again. I'm suing StreamYard and YouTube. I'm gonna have to do that. But thanks. You know what? I'm just gonna let it go because I'm 30 minutes in. I like to do an hour, but they keep playing with me. But I do want y'all to check out the beginning of the video. I'm not sure if y'all were able to hear me. Let me make sure the audio is good. But I talk about the function of that regulator and what their purpose is and why they are failing Black Americans. I also talked about how the FCC went after one of my Detroit rappers, Eminem. If you go back and you look up that drama between Eminem and the Real Slim, and when he dropped that song, the Real Slim Shady. What about the female rappers who don't? Oh, we already talked about that quasi. They trifling. They don't even know how to season chicken. But the FCC pinged Eminem for the Real Slim Shady. You can go and you can pull the receipts yourself. I don't say shit off the top of my head, and I'm saying that to say that they pinged that white man for going against the image of white Americans. When you read their rationale, it wasn't talking about it didn't say American, it didn't say society. All right, it said community standards, and I can only assume that means the white community standards, right? because the FCC does not have a community standard for Black people. Otherwise, again, we would not see the Black image portrayed the way that it has been consistently in the music. So when people want to talk about the arguments of the Black community and they keep saying our music and we need to change our behaviors, we need to change our music, I want you guys to think about the hello, hello. They keep taking me out the game. But again, there's an invested interest. Let me say this real quick. There's an invested interest in the Black image being portrayed the way it is being portrayed. And I think Black people need to start looking at the arguments beyond surface talk. There is an interest in us being the way that we are. There's an interest in us seeing ourselves and our people and even each other, male and female, the way that we do. There's a reason why Black women are being so removed from being wives. And it has everything to do with how our music is influencing us to think about ourselves and think about even the Black family. Because the mission is to destroy the Black family. The more structured Black families there are, the more difficult it is for a lot of this generational rhetoric and these narratives to continue. The more control Black people as a unit have over our image. The biggest threat to this nation and the self interest people that want to keep Black people down is a strong Black family. So if we cannot influence your men to kill off the men that will be leaders and husbands, we're going to train your women into not wanting your men, being independent, not wanting to be wives. There's a whole plethora of ideas around why, or I would say around why some self-interest people do not want to see Black people succeeding, and music is a way in which they can influence us not to succeed. And that's why we have to strengthen our minds and our consciousness. And if you're a Christian, we need to safeguard our hearts. You know, there's a reason why some of our parents didn't let us listen to certain things, and we need to get back to being those types of parents. We need to get back to being those types of parents where we tell kids, no, you cannot listen to that. This is the reason why you cannot listen to that. And if you choose to listen to that, I will take any device that you choose to listen to that on. Because until you start paying your own damn bills, my my direction is what you will follow in this house. And we got to start demanding kids give their parents that respect. You know what I mean? I listened to my mom. That, you know, I didn't agree with my mom on everything, but I really appreciate it. You know, Kwame Brown talk about mama's cooking. I got mama's cooking. A lot of people in the Detroit area got mama's cooking. We come from Motown houses. Our parents were old folks, big, you know, a lot of us come from that mama's cooking where we know what the fuck we need to do to raise good kids. And we need to stop being distracted and take that time to parent our. All right, y'all, I'm out.
It's about to end it.
All right, y'all. I'm out of here. Thank you so much for participating. I'm gonna have to finish it off. Let me see if the video will at least stay long enough so I can sign off to you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm sorry, I don't know what's up with StreamYard default to me like this, but you guys have a wonderful evening. And again, pay attention to what your kids are listening to, but understand the root cause of some of this music being played on the airways is to influence. All right. You guys have a wonderful day, evening, I should say. Bye. Bye, Tiff. Bye, Quasi. Bye, everybody that joined.